times for me, finding peace doesn't mean avoiding difficulties. It means running the art of letting go of control, expectations, and sometimes even people or dreams that no longer serve me. Letting go sounds easier said than done. How do you practice it? It's definitely a process. I start by acknowledging my feelings, anger, sadness, frustration, without pushing them away. Then I remind myself that holding on tightly often causes more pain than the thing I'm trying to keep. Can you give an example from your travels? Sure, once I planned to visit a special place, but unexpected circumstances forced me to can- cancel. At first, I was disappointed and frustrated, but I realized I was holding on to an expectation that wasn't flexible. When I let go of that rigid plan, I opened myself to new experiences that were just as meaningful. How did that shift change your mindset? It taught me that peace comes from acceptance. When I stopped hiding reality, I stopped supporting. I learned to flow with life's currents instead of resisting them. Thoughts letting go mean giving up, not at all. It means releasing what I can't control and focusing on what I can. It's about choosing my battles wisely and preserving my energy for growth and joy. How do you deal with fear that comes from letting go? Fear is natural. I face it by trusting myself and the process ripe. I remind myself that sometimes what feels like an ending is actually a new beginning. What practices help you stay centered during tough times? Meditation, journaling, and deep breathing help. Also, spending time alone in nature during my travels brings calmness. The quiet reminds me that everything is temporary. How has running to let go affect your relationships? It has deepened them. I no longer try to change others or hold on to people who don't go with me. Instead, I appreciate them as they are and focus on connections that nourish my soul. What advice would you give to someone struggling to let go? Be gentle with yourself. Letting go is a journey, not a one time act. take small steps with research thought, a grudge, a plan bit by bit. Celebrate progress, not perfection. How do you find peace now, even when challenges arise? I find peace by returning to the present moment, by embracing uncertainty, and by reminding myself that I'm more than my struggles. I'm a traveler on a path, running, going, and unfolding. That's a beautiful way to live. It's not always easy, but it's real and deeply rewarding. Letting go is the art that transforms pain into peace. Title: A Journey Alone, Discovering Myself, Part 15. The Power of Solitude, Embracing Silence and Self-Reflection. We've talked about change, letting go, and finding peace, but one thing I'm curious about is solitude. How important is solitude on your journey of self-discovery? Solitude has been absolutely essential when I travel alone. I find silence that's hard to come by in everyday life. That silence opens a space for deep self-reflection, an opportunity to truly read to myself without distractions. Many people fear being alone or silence. How did you want to embrace it? At first, I was uncomfortable. Silence felt like emptiness or loneliness, but with time, I realized that silence is not empty, it's full of possibility. It's a chance to connect with my thoughts, feelings, and inner voice. How does solitude help you understand yourself better? When I'm alone and quiet, I can notice patterns in my thinking, my fears, and my dreams. I can ask myself honest questions. What do I really want? What's holding me back? Who am I beyond others' expectations? That sounds like a powerful practice. Do you have any rituals or habits to deepen your solitude? Yes, I often take long walks without my phone or journal. Sometimes I sit by a river or under a tree and simply breathe. I also keep a journal where I write my thoughts, emotions, and insights. This practice helps me process and understand my experiences. Has solitude helped you by any difficult emotions? Absolutely. When I feel anxious or sad, solitude gives me space to feel those emotions without judgment. Instead of distracting myself, I face the feelings and allow them to pass naturally. It's a healing process. How does this practice solitude affect your interactions with others? It makes me more present and empathetic. When I understand myself better, I can listen to others more deeply and respond with kindness. I don't feel the need to fill every silence with words anymore. Do you think solitude is different from loneliness? Definitely, loneliness feels like isolation and sadness, while solitude is a chosen state of being alone that feels peaceful and fulfilling. Solitude is a gift I give myself. What advice would you give to someone who wants to cultivate solitude but feels uneasy about it? Start small, spend 5 or 10 minutes a day alone without distractions, no phone, no music, just yourself. Notice what comes up without trying to fix it. Over time, you will find comfort and enjoy joy. And even joy in these moments. How has solitude changed your perspective on life? It has taught me patience, self-compassion, and acceptance. It reminds me that I'm whole on my own and that my worth is not dependent on others' presence or approval. What role does solitude play in your ongoing journey? It's like a sanctuary I can return to anytime in solitude. I recharge, reflect, and connect with my true self. It pours my courage to face the world and continue growing. Thank you for sharing these insights. Solitude sounds like a profound teacher. It truly is. If you want to embrace solitude, you want to embrace yourself. Title: A Journey Alone, Discovering Myself, Part 16, Overcoming Fear, Building Courage on the Road to Self-Discovery. Traveling alone can be exciting, but it can also bring up fear and uncertainty. How do you deal with fear when you are on a journey by yourself? Fear is definitely one of the biggest challenges. I've learned that fear often comes from the unknown, from stepping outside of comfort zones. But rather than letting it stop me, I try to see fear as a signal, an opportunity to grow. That's an interesting way to think about fear. Can you give an example when I, I first traveled to a country where I didn't speak the language? I felt scared about getting lost or misunderstood, but I reminded myself that these experiences were part of the adventure. Each small risk I took built my confidence. How do you prepare yourself mentally before facing these fears? I practice mindfulness and positive self-talk. I tell myself it's okay to be afraid. Fear means I'm alright and running. I also break down big fears into smaller, manageable steps. What helps you stay courageous when fear tries to take over? Remembering my purpose helps a lot. I remind myself why I chose this journey: to discover myself, to run, to grow. That purpose motivates me to keep going even when I'm scared. Do you think fear ever completely disappears? Probably not. Fear is a natural part of life, but what changes is my relationship with it. Instead of avoiding fear, I acknowledge it and act anyway. That's courage. Have you ever had a moment when fear held you back? Of course, there have been times I hesitated or turned back because fear felt too strong, but those moments taught me that it's okay to be imperfect and that growth comes from trying again. How do you celebrate your victories over fear? I take time to reflect and appreciate my courage. Sometimes I write about the experience in my journal or share it with close friends. Celebrating small wins reinforces my confidence. What advice would you give to someone struggling with fear about traveling alone? Start with small adventures. Maybe explore your neighborhood alone or take a day trip nearby. Gradually push your boundaries. Also practice self-compassion. Don't be harsh if fear slows you down. How has overcoming fear affected your journey of self-discovery? It has shown me that I'm stronger and more resilient than I thought. Each time I face fear, I discover new parts of myself. My courage patience, and adaptability. What's the most important lesson you learned about fear on your journey? That fear is not the enemy, it's a companion that teaches me about my limits and how to expand them. Embracing fear has been a key part of my goals. Thank you for sharing your thoughts. Facing fear with courage sounds like a powerful part of traveling alone. It is fear and courage walk hand in hand. When we welcome both, we open the door to transformation. Titled A Journey Alone, Discovering Myself, Part 17. Embracing change, how traveling alone teaches flexibility and growth. Traveling alone means you face a lot of unexpected situations. How do you handle all the changes that come up during your trips? At first, it was difficult. I liked having plans and routines, but over time, I realized that being flexible is one of the most valuable skills I could develop. Change is constant when you travel alone, and learning to embrace it has helped me grow. Can you share a specific experience where embracing change made a difference? Sure, once my flight was cancelled and I had to stay in a city I hadn't planned to visit. Instead of getting upset, I decided to explore the area. That unexpected change led me to meet amazing people and discover a beautiful place I would have missed. That sounds like a positive mindset. How do you mentally prepare yourself for unexpected changes? I remind myself that change is part of the adventure. I try to stay calm and open-minded. Sometimes I take deep breaths and tell myself this is an opportunity, not a problem. How has embracing change affected your view of life outside of travel? It's made me more adaptable and less anxious about uncertainty. I've learned that plans can change anytime, and that's okay. Being flexible means I can find new solutions and keep moving forward. Have you ever struggled with change during your travels? Definitely, sometimes I felt frustrated or stressed when things didn't go as planned, but those moments pushed me to develop patience and creativity. What advice do you have for someone who fears change? Try to see change as a teacher. Every change brings lessons and new experiences. Start by accepting small changes in your daily life. Practice saying yes to new opportunities. How does embracing change connect with self-discovery? Change challenges my old habits and beliefs. It encourages me to learn more about myself, my strengths, and areas where I need to grow. Through change, I become more authentic and resilient. Can you describe how flexibility has helped you in difficult situations? Flexibility helped me stay calm when I lost my luggage once. I Instead of panicking, I focused on what I could do, buying essentials and enjoying the trip despite the setback. That attitude made the experience less stressful. How do you celebrate your ability to embrace change? I reflect on how challenges have turned into valuable memories and lessons. I also share stories with friends to remind myself that change can be beautiful. What final message would you like to share about embracing change? Change is not something to fear but to welcome. When you travel alone, you learn that life is a journey filled with surprises. Embracing change you allows you to live fully and grows continuously. English word embrace, embrace, flexibility, flexibility, adaptable, adaptable, unexpected, opportunity, challenge, resilient, mindset, frustrated, stressful, patience, creativity, uncertainty, solution, frustration, journey, mindfulness, 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 authentic, authentic, perspective, transform, surprise, setback, calm, reflect, opportunity, open-minded, and anxiety, motivated, motivate, compassion, challenge,